Hello, Sam here, founder and CEO of That Nursery Life. This is what we hope is going to be a new regular piece of content that we're putting together. An opportunity every few weeks for me to take a selection of questions from all of you lovely people out on social media and do my best to answer them. Just to be clear, we're not saying that I'm the expert in all things early years, far from it. I think the thing I love most about working in early years was the privilege to be able to be part of so many different families. I'm the eldest of a big group of siblings, so I know what it's like to have lots of children in the family, but there's still nothing quite like being a key worker to 30, 40, even more children over the course of a career, and being such a close part of that family unit is a real honour. Arguably, the hardest part of my job right now is trying to get this video done without my dog appearing more times than is helpful. More seriously, I think the hardest part of my job at the moment is trying to make decisions about what we as a team should do and where we should focus. We're still very much a growing organisation. We're hoping later in the year to have some exciting news on ways that we can expand. But at the moment, it's very much a case of finite resources and almost infinite work that we want to do. So trying to decide where we're best placed to help and how we can make best use of the resource that we've got is probably the hardest part of what I have to do day to day. I'm not quite sure how I'd characterise my position. I think tips for someone who wants to run their own business and grow a team of people working towards a shared objective. My main tip is just to get started. That Nursery Life started out 2.5 years ago with me just writing a blog. And has grown now to a team of over 10 people working on a really exciting shared mission. I think if you're working in early years and you want to look at ways that you can keep being part of the sector without working on the front line, I think I'd encourage you to look at which parts of your current day-to-day work make you the most excited, and then try to think of ways that you can serve fellow professionals in those areas. Right here, right now, I think the thing that I'd most like to be different about the early years sector is the situation with the current lockdown. I've written this week both on TNL and for other publications about the really difficult situation that the sector's been left in by being open, but without the sorts of protection that they need, that you all need, whether that's in the form of PPE. More generally, one of the biggest things that I'd like to see differently in the early years sector is the role of Ofsted. It's such a shame that Ofsted is a word that strikes fear into the hearts of anyone that works in the sector. Even now, I haven't run an early years setting for several years, but just thinking about an Ofsted inspection brings me out in cold sweats. And it doesn't need to be that way. It would be fantastic if the sector was regulated, as it has to be, but regulated by an organisation that was there to support and help everyone in the sector to keep learning and keep doing an even better job for the children in their care. Ofsted isn't that at the moment, and it would be lovely to see that change.